trade Syndergaard. You're not going to trade DeGrom. Nobody wants Harvey. Matz, I don't think anybody would give up a lot for him just because he gets hurt all the time. And Wheeler is still not really a proven commodity since his surgery.
Sure.
He's pitched pretty well for him this year. I mean, I'm not disparaging him in any way, but it's a small sample size. So that's where the Mets are. The Mets are kind of stuck right now, unfortunately. What they need is to get healthy and to start playing like they did a couple years ago.
Well, the problem with the Mets is usually they play good into the All-Star break, and then it's usually after the All-Star break that they have their problems, except for 2015. That was a little bit different. Right now, let's see, who's ahead of them? Let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 teams behind the wild card. There's for the wild card position.
How many games out are they?
10.5. So they're 31-37.
No, from the wild card.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't say. Oh, a wild card. Oh, it does. 12.
They're further behind in the wild card than they are in the division?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Probably because the NL East is so bad. Look at that. Atlanta, 31-37. They're tied with them. Then you got Miami.
The Braves are what they are. This is what everybody expected the Braves to be. But nobody expected the Mets to be behind the Braves.
Well, they're tied with the Braves.
Whatever.
Anyway, we should mention that the Golden State Warriors, 1-5. I should say not 1 and 5. But they won their series in 5 games.
Champions.
They are the champions, and I think they'll be the champions for the next few years, unless
very sagacious observation.
Unless Phil Jackson does something incredible, which he won't.
What? Like gets hired by the Warriors and destroys the team?
I don't know. Jerry West left the Warriors as whatever he is, advisor to go to the Clippers.
Come on, Jerry. Let's face facts. Jerry's there to be the logo. Jerry's not there to make decisions.
I'm sure. You know what? Why is every time he's around a team, they seem to do a lot better, even if he's not doing.
Because Jerry's
much.
a class guy. That's why. Jerry West gets hired to bring class. So the Knicks should hire him because they have no class.
But Jerry's not embarrassing himself. So
that's my point.
It was a great game. We had it on Monday, last Monday.
Yeah.
So
that was. I mean, it was the Penguins won last Sunday and the Warriors then won on Monday. So yeah, the news is not fresh, but it's fresh for us because we didn't get to talk about it last week because the game was last Monday night.
We try not to speculate too much on this show.
Well, I speculate. I said the Warriors were going to win that night.
Well, that's not. Yeah, that's a little different. We're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box. Yeah, we take a break every quarter.
Well,
we try to. All
right, we're going to talk more NBA when we come back, though.
Yeah, the draft's coming up.
Big trade.
You're listening to From the Press Box right here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, streaming at ncc.edu/WHPC. Also turns into a podcast later on Spreaker.com. 516-572-7440 if you'd like to make a comment or if you have any questions.
The Nassau Mix.
Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
The 90s, 2K, and today.
I'm the one, yeah. I'm the one early.
The Nassau Mix. The 90s. Baby, one more time. 2K.
That I know how to save a life.
And today.
Baby, slow hands.
The Nassau Mix.
Listen weekdays. The Voice of Nassau Community College. 90.3 WHPC. Oh, I love that.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just on Facebook.
What are you liking?
I don't even know. I'm just mindlessly hitting because, well, I just don't know.
At least like something that's worth actually liking.
Like what?
Like the new 90.3 WHPC page on Facebook.
Oh, I like that.
Search for 90.3 WHPC on Facebook and join the conversation happening right now on the Voice of Nassau Community College. Yes, like 90.3 WHPC on Facebook.
I do like that.
As I was saying, like 90.3 WHPC on Facebook. From the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
You want the news? You can't handle the news. Dude, that's a little dramatic, don't you think?
News, wherefore art thou news?
Still dramatic.
It was the best of news, it was the worst of news.
Seriously?
Alright, I give up, it's just the news.
Get all of the day's news all in one place. All from the students at the Voice of Nassau Community College.
My mama always said life was like a box of news. You never know what you're gonna get.
Unbelievable.
The WHPC 4:30 News Wrap-Up. Weekday afternoons at, 4:30 on 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome back to From the Pressbox, right here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We're here every Monday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., talking sports. I'm Rob Leonard. He's Tim Leonard. And we welcome people listening to us who are watching us on Facebook, including Facebook Live, including Kenny out in Boston and
Vinny Santoro.
And Vinny out in Bethpage, and I think Phil's listening out in Islip. So we thank you for joining us through Facebook because, you know, when you're on Facebook, you might as well watch it that way.
Yeah.
And Vinny's a big Yankee fan. You know. Matter of fact,
Vinny's a good guy.
Vinny once claimed that if you're a Met fan, it's like, you know, it's like a crime against nature or something.
He's right.
So, anyway,
can't really argue with Vinny.
So, the NBA draft is Thursday, and also the NHL draft is on Wednesday. So
no, that's the expansion draft.
I'm sorry, the expansion draft's on Wednesday. What trade has happened? Because it's always the Celtics.
Big trade.
It's always the Celtics doing this.
Massive trade. The Boston Celtics have traded the number one pick.
The overall pick.
Yes. And I have to say, I'm thinking it's a smart move.
Of course it is, because look what they got.
Well, it's not even so much about what they got.
Yes,
and actually, the trade hasn't even been finalized yet. It's supposed to be announced later today. They might even be announcing it right now. In fact, check out ESPN.com and see. But the Celtics supposedly are getting the number 3 overall pick for this season from the Philadelphia 76ers, plus 2 more number 1 picks down the road.
Okay.
Just for the right to switch spots.
Why would you do
with
that?
the Celtics?
Why would you do that?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. And I think this is why I think it's a good move for the Sixers.
For the Sixers?
For the Sixers.
I was thinking for the Celtics. They get first rounds in the future.
It's a good move for the Celtics as well, but for a different yet similar reason.
It's just like when the Nets gave up their future for Paul Pierce.
No, it's not. Not even close. All right, and here's why. The Celtics already have an elite point guard in Isaiah Thomas. So Markelle Fultz is acknowledged to be the number 1 pick in this draft. And what position does he play, brother?
I don't know.
He's a point guard. So if you're the Boston Celtics, unless you want to blow up your team and trade Isaiah Thomas, who, by the way, was a second-round pick back in the day and has turned into quite the value for the Boston Celtics, but unless you want to blow up your team, you can't pick Markelle Fultz. Because what are you going to do with the two of them? And I know my brother, and he's going to say, well, you could have him be like Walt Frazier and Earl Monroe. It doesn't work that way in the NBA these days. Plus,
it could. It's how bad you want to win.
Plus, the Celtics roster is loaded with guards who they've taken with very high draft picks over the last couple of years. All right? So they're set at guard. So for them to move down 2 spots, now they don't have to take Markelle Fultz, who, by all accounts, is going to be a phenomenal NBA player. Like, really phenomenal. All right? But now the Celtics can pick at number 3 and take a big, like a Josh Jackson out of Kansas, let's say.
Right.
And they have 2 more number 1 picks for the future. So what the Celtics are doing that I love, as much as I hate to say I love anything the Celtics do, is they're acquiring assets for the future. And they're planning for the future because nobody is beating the Golden State Warriors for the next, I would say, 3 years. All right? I'm giving the Warriors 3 more titles.
Really?
The only team,
I don't think even that much.
The only team that can stop them is the Cavaliers next season. Because after that, I'm pretty sure LeBron is leaving.
Where is he going?
I don't know yet. It could be the Lakers.
I don't know about
But LeBron, wherever LeBron goes, he's not going to win titles.
No.
Because as long as the Warriors can keep their core together, and there's no reason they shouldn't be able to do that. But those four guys, Steph Curry, Durant, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, as long as they can keep those four guys together, they're winning titles. That's a young nucleus. They're four of the top guys in the league. Nobody is beating them. So if I'm Boston, I'm planning for 3 or 4 years down the road. I'm planning for a team that in, say, like around 2020 or the 2020-21 season, that's my goal. That's what I'm looking for in terms of what am I planning for? Where is my franchise going to be? I'm not planning to challenge the Warriors now because that's just a stupid pursuit. If you're a GM and you think, oh well, we're gonna win a title this year, you're lying to your fan base, or you're delusional because it's not happening. The only general manager in the league who can say we're winning a title this season is the Golden State Warriors GM, because they are the only team that is going to win a title. All right, but the reason this is also a good move for Philadelphia 76ers, they are a team that is exactly the opposite of the Boston Celtics in that they have a lot of good young big players. Joel Embiid is the nucleus or the focal point. Jahlil Okafor, who's been a bit of a disappointment since coming out of Duke. I'll point out that he went to Duke because he's been a failure so far. But again, another guy.
Can he spell cat?
He probably can, but that's about all he can do on a basketball court. But again, a big body who they're at least optimistic about. All right, Ben Simmons, who is 6'10" but plays like a point guard. All right, so now you add Markelle Fultz to that mix of players, and Ben Simmons, again, I'll point this out. I've said this before, but he didn't play at all last season because he broke his foot in training camp. So he was out the entire season, what should have been his rookie season. Did not play a single game, but is a transcendent talent because he is a big man who is not afraid to pass the ball, but also, can score the basket, can score the basketball. He's a guy that should average 20 points a game. All right, but now you're looking at adding Markelle Fultz to that mix. You're adding another passing player. You now have four players, all of whom are under 23, or at the most 23, who can grow up and develop together. And by the time they're 26 or 27, which, how coincidental, that's the 2021 season, they will be entering their primes. And you will have these players all together, all playing together, and assuming they don't get hurt or nobody does anything illegal and gets thrown in jail, you have a team that should be able to contend for a title in 3 years. So that's why this trade should help both teams. Because the Celtics, as good as the Celtics were this season, they finished number one in the East. They were the number one seed. But Cleveland crushed them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Absolutely crushed them. So now you're looking at what do they have to do? They're not going to get that much better with one draft pick. So they need to plan for the future. And Danny Ainge, as long as he continues to pile up assets, he'll be able to trade for any player in the league if he thinks the Celtics are close enough to win a title in the next few years. And that's what he should do. He's got something like 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years.
I know, but
it's ridiculous. Plus the Nets first rounder next year, which should be another top 3 pick.
Yeah, but it gets to the point where you can't pay them all. All these good players.
But they can.
Well,
either that, or they let one guy go, and then they can trade for a different guy. Because again, they have all these picks. They're not going to keep all these picks. It's almost like the Yankees. Like, I expect the Yankees to make a trade near the deadline. If for no other reason, then they need to straighten out their 40-man roster. So they need to get rid of some of these guys. Even though they have a ton of great prospects, they're going to need to get rid of some of them. And make a deal where they're getting rid of 3 guys to get one really good guy. because you can't keep all of them on a baseball roster, 40-man roster, and that's where kind of where Danny Ainge is right now. He's not going to be able to keep everybody.
No, it's going to be the unfortunate part.
So that's where we are.
There's something coming up. I heard about this, and I'm like, well, this isn't like when Ali fought Antonio Inoki.
Oh, we're moving now.
Yeah, boxing.